My name's Simon Squibb. I'm an entrepreneur and angel investor, and I've dedicated the last few years to creating content that I think could be useful to you if you're thinking of starting a business or just want to understand how entrepreneurship works to make your life better. Today I'm going to tell you another story about a failure that I've had. I do believe failure stories can really teach you so much. I often have had successes, I would like to add, but I can attribute those successes to luck, and that's a whole new story. So let me tell you of one of my failures. I started a magazine business called Loft. Initially the idea was we'd be different to typical magazines because we would directly link any ads or promotions that we did inside the publication to sales. So for example, we had members, and every time we sold a piece of property to one of our members who read this magazine, we could track and trace it. That idea, I think at the time when we did this, about 6 years ago, was completely revolutionary. I wanted to see a direct correlation between the magazine and the success. But this business literally broke my heart. And let me tell you what happened. Now this story is both a story, in my view, of success and failure. The failure of the business, but the success of a new friendship formed, which I think in business is totally underrated as an outcome of success, friendship. We're not always going to make money, of course not. Taking risk in business, that's how you get more luck, and taking risk means high chance a business will fail. But I do think one thing you can control is the relationships you have with people. In this business, Loft, when I first started it out, I made a similar mistake that I made in other businesses. It wasn't big enough, quick enough. So to solve this problem this time, I decided to partner up with someone that had another publication. And I said to them, hey, let's merge. This person in particular, Roger Searle, good friend of mine, took over the business and did a fantastic job, dedicated his life to making it work. A few years into the business, it was doing well. Everything was going as planned. Brands loved this direct relationship between advertising and success. But then something awful happened. Roger got sick. He got cancer. And this is the learning I took from this experience. First of all, nothing more important than your health. Roger was sick, he did get it treated, but he didn't get it treated quick enough. Skin cancer, he got it cut out, but they didn't cut it out deep enough. Sadly, Roger died. One of the things I look back on is he spent so much time on this business, he was so dedicated to it, he loved his family, he had this work-life balance trick he played every single day. He looked after his family, he looked after this business, but he didn't look after himself enough. When Roger left the business, we tried to keep it alive. I found a new person to run it, the idea being that that could be an income for his family. The business today still exists. It's not done as well as we would have hoped. In many respects, when Roger left, the business itself just had less meaning. It's a sad outcome to any conclusion of any business or anybody's life. And Roger, I miss you so much. But Roger, if you're listening, you know what I know. We both enjoy building that business together. And sometimes in life, we all know we're going to die. And the only thing we can do each day is our best and try to enjoy our day to day. But it reminded me, folks, of this very important final lesson I want to share with you. Come with me a second and I'll share with you. So the business was a failure, but the final lesson I learned from this difficult time was when you get into business with people, make sure they're friends. Make sure that they become friends. Make sure you invest that time in that friendship. One of the things I loved about Roger was his sense of humour. It's actually part of my criteria for investing in people today. They've got to have a good sense of humour, or at least align with mine. You can decide whether mine is good or not, that's up to you. But I think it's such an important thing to have a laugh. I remember the day Roger found out that he had terminal cancer. He came over to my home and we sat down strategizing about how we were going to save the business and how we were going to make sure things were good for him and his family going forward, while he went away hopefully and got some treatment that would cure him. One of the things he talked about was some of the problems in that day that he was having in the business, and one particular supplier who'd done an advert in the magazine and we'd made a misprint in the magazine about how much it was to buy this particular product. And Roger was just sharing how he was going to deal with a problem. And he wrote about how he was very sorry for the misprint in the magazine and hope he didn't cause the client too much inconvenience. By the way, he's got terminal cancer, so he'll be getting on with fixing that problem today and hope that the price problem isn't a big deal. Now, me describing it now doesn't sound funny, but we all had a good laugh at this moment, you know. I think perspective is so important, and to the client, it was the most important thing to them in that moment that we'd made a misprint in the magazine. But to us, we just laughed it off. We had a good laugh. We joked about it. It was a big stress reliever for us all. But just having that laughter in one of the most difficult times in my life, and certainly, of course, in Roger's, does make life more fun. So don't forget to have some fun, folks. And that's probably the biggest lesson I can pass on today. I hope you found my story today useful. If you did, do me a favour, hit the like button. If you have any questions about business or want to know anything about how to grow a company, then drop me a comment. I'll do what I can to help you. And if anyone out there needs to hear have fun in business, have a laugh in business, work with people that are fun in business and fail often, then hit the share button and let them know about this video. I'd appreciate it, and maybe they would. And I know the algorithm will. It'll know that this content might be useful to those that need to hear this stuff. So thanks for listening, folks, and have a fun day.